Good evening and welcome back to Legend Knows Football TV. Quite an eventful week for Chelsea. We have some charges being brought up against us, some irregularities that took place under the Abramovich era surrounding some transfers that we made. Anyways, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying the content so far. Road to 100 subscribers continues. Without further ado, let me just read it as follows as it went down on Twitter. Fabrizio Romano tweeted, officials Chelsea have been charged with 74 breaches of FA's agent regulation rules between 2009 and 2022 under Roman Abramovich. Breaches relate primarily to the period 2010-11 to 2015-16. Chelsea have until 19 September to answer. Regulation and discipline update. The Football Association has today charged Chelsea FC with the breaches of Regulation J1 and C2 of the FA Football Agents Regulation, Regulations A2, A3 of the FA Regulations on working with intermediaries, and Regulations A1, B3 of the FA third-party investment in players regulations. In total, 74 charges have been brought against Chelsea FC. The conduct that is subject of charges ranges from 2009 to 2022, primarily relates to events occurred between 2010-11 to 2015-16 playing seasons. Chelsea has until 19 September to respond. Let's see what the rest of Twitter had to say. Chelsea has been charged with 74 breaches of the FA's agent regulation between 2009. Okay, it's what Chelsea's ownership self-reported and set money aside for potential issues upon taking control of the club, as well as cooperating fully with the FA. So hopefully it's just a fine and nothing more. Nervous wait. So the new owners opened the books on their own accord. They decided that they want a clean slate and they want to be transparent in terms of how things are being done at Chelsea going forward after the Abramovich era. So maybe that might count in our favor, and the repercussions, the consequences of the dealings might not be so severe on the club. And then it says, further, CFC Pies tweeted that possible sanctions include point deductions, transfer ban, or fine. GMS understands there is optimism no sporting sanctions will occur. The Premier League are running their own separate investigations. Chelsea are confident they will avoid point deductions or any other sporting charge. So that's how it went down. That's that's uh, that's the situation. But me as a Chelsea fan, doesn't bother me. They can deduct points, they can do what they want. This is what matters. Everyone has witnessed this. Under the Abramovich era, we had what? I think 5 Premier Leagues, several FA Cups. We got the 2 Champions League titles. We got the Conference League recently. We got the Europa League. We have the Club World Cup. So it doesn't bother me. Why are people throwing stones when they live in glass houses? If we had to open all the books of every club in the Premier League, I'm sure there's a lot of skeletons. Why they are only focusing on Chelsea, I don't know. But I'm sure it won't be severe, and we won't get a severe punishment. Maybe just a slap on the wrist and pay a fine like we did with the UEFA. And I think that would be it. But that's what has been happening surrounding Chelsea. We will see the outcome on 19 September, what the club will respond with in terms of, the findings from their side. But that's on hold. Let's put a pin in that and move forward. There's been an update on the Mudryk situation and how it all went down. How Mudryk was how the doping substances got into his body. Let's read. Ukrainian journalist Igor Brubas. Mudryk received a stem cell injection from the Ukrainian anti-physio aid recovery after the player reportedly after the player reported experiencing discomfort and not being able to play at full capacity. It is reported that the stem cells were derived from a cow that may have been exposed to banned substances. To that story, I would just say, what happened to just being natural? Do we really need stem cell? Like, bruv, this was avoidable. This was just unnecessary from Mudryk. He just gave himself this. It wasn't as if he had a life-threatening situation. He just had a little bit of discomfort. So that's how it happened, and now he's banned. Isn't it like 4 years or something? But let's move on to some positive news. Is that Cole Palmer was in training today. Maybe he might come off the bench tomorrow, but I prefer him not playing actually. Give him more time, let him heal 100%, and then come back when he's fully fit and ready to start. That's what I feel. That's what I think should be the way forward for Cole Palmer. We don't want him to get injury after injury. Now we ask him to play tomorrow and then he gets injured again and then he's out for even longer. When we can just wait and be patient and have him back in the first team for the rest of the season without any hiccups. And then surprisingly, what I saw today, even though the window is closed, this is why we are getting investigated. We are making signings when the transfer window is closed. Fabrizio Romano tweeted, exclusive, Chelsea will sign Emmanuel Emega in 2026. Pre-agreement done. Here we go. Gentleman's agreement, probably. CFC anticipate Champions League and Premier League clubs keen on Emega as he wanted to stay at Strasbourg, lead them into Europe, and then join Chelsea on a 7-year contract from 2026. So, as I have seen, is that he is a striker. So maybe he's the replacement for Jackson. But the fact is that Jackson might not even go because Bayern said they won't use Jackson. That's also just another can of worms that we don't need to open. Just leave it, let it dissolve like like sugar in water. Just leave it one side. But what I wanted to go through last but not least is the lineup that I think might be possible for tomorrow. I think Gittens will start. Of course, João Pedro will start. He had a good international break. Esteva also might start, or definitely. I think the team will just remain unchanged. The only change is, of course, that the Lap is injured and João Pedro moves into the striking position. Gittens might get his start this weekend. Might even see Joral Hato. Maybe Joral Hato will start for Cucurella because Cucurella is still playing. He is still playing. When will he rest? When do we see Cucurella resting? Maybe we might even see Garnacho coming off of the bench if needed. The guy that the other negative news this week was that Esugu also went down injured. I don't know how, where, when, but he's injured. He went in for surgery. He's also going to be out for 6 to 10. Is it 6 to 8 weeks or whatever? The Lap is going to be out for 10 to 12 weeks. So we are in a pickle. We are in quite a pickle, but I think we will survive. We have a strong enough lineup week in, week out. Garnacho can replace. We have a midfielder, Santos. We have James and Gasto. James can also play in the midfield. Atto, obviously, it's just that the striker, But we have Mark Huey. who can also play strike, who's also the reserve striker or the backup striker for João Pedro for the time being. So I think we will survive. I think we will survive these fixtures that are coming up thick and fast. Champions League also coming up against Bayern Munich. But this is what I think will happen tomorrow. If it's not, if it's the backline will stay the same. Gasto will start. Obviously, James might also get rested because I think Maresca has figured out a way to accommodate James, not to push him too hard. You know, just to manage him because he also gets unnecessary muscle injuries. But this is the lineup that I think will be on the field tomorrow. Sanchez, Gasto, Chalobah, Tossen, Cucurella, Enzo, Caicedo, Esteval, Pedro, Gittens, Neto. Neto is a workhorse, definitely going to be there. I think Garnacho will come off the bench. Hato might also come off the bench. And Santos might also come off of the bench in the second half. But we should just kill this game quickly in the first half and get the 3 points and move on to the next fixture. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying the content so far. And see you in the next upload. Cheers. God bless. See you.